Okay, we left off Yud, page 23 in Mishna Berura. The Ramos says that a person who said the bracha Til Shadayim at home, when he comes to the Beis HaKnesses, he should not say it again. Shemvorchem beveiso, I Mogen Avram Pri Megorim Sharei Achronim Sheskimu. The Mogen Avram who's the commentator on the Shulchan Aruch, Pri Megorim who's the commentary on the Mogen Avram and Taz. Sharei Achronim, they all concurred. That Afil Shlich Tzibur Sheberach beveiso. Shlich Tzibur, he said that Al Til Shadayim at home. Shuv lo Yivorach Beis HaKnesses. Now this is important. We spoke about yes, Birchas HaShachar. The Shlich Tzibur says Birchas HaShachar. He's not motzi you with those Birchas HaShachar. You have to say your own Birchas HaShachar. Because today, since the average person is considered boki, he's literate, he says it himself. So therefore, the Shlich Tzibur, when he says it, it's only we should answer Amen. That's all. It's not to cover anybody. So he says, so therefore, if the Shlich Tzibur, his function is not to cover anybody, so therefore, as a result of that, if you said Al Til Shadayim at home, the Shlich Tzibur, he should not say it again in shul, because he's not covering anybody. So if he's not covering anybody, it's a bracha levatolo, right? It's a bracha in vain. It's interesting. There's a shaila. Chief Pesach Frank brings it regarding Sfiras Omer. You know, if you forget one night, you stop counting with a bracha. The night, and you don't count during the day. Next night, you're not going to count with the bracha. So there was a story he brings over there with the Beis HaLevi. The Beis HaLevi was Chaim's father. So he was the Rabbi Brisk, and he forgot to count one night. End of the day, he didn't count. How does it look? Chief Rabbi Brisk, you wait for the Rav to say Sfiras Omer. So what did he do? He told one person in the shul, he says, don't say the bracha, I'll be motzi you. Yeah, based on the principle of Avrevos, I'll be motzi you. So he looked good, he didn't look bad. He's saying a bracha, so nobody knows that he missed. So this whole question, is it considered a chovas gavra? Is it an obligation of the person? It's not something that could be delegated. Because it's like there's a discussion like tefillin, because you can't delegate tefillin. It's mitzvah shebegufa, you have to do it yourself. So maybe Sfiras Omer also, it's mitzvah shebegufa. Mitzvah shebegufa, you can't be covered with shemei kohen. That's where Chief Pesach Frank brings multiple positions, and we're machmir. So we're machmir. We even if you have somebody covering you with the bracha, we count ourselves. The actual counting, you count yourself. The person who covers is only with the bracha, because it's a question la locha. If you miss, could you say with a bracha? Can you not say with a bracha? Okay. So here he's saying, but until Sidnaim, there's no question. If fact the people who are not able to say until the bracha themselves, the Shlich Tzibur can cover them. But since today we became the average person does say it, so his mindset is not to cover anyone. So if that is the case, there's no basis for the Shlich Tzibur to say the bracha over again. No. There's a sefer that came out of Rebbe Yoshev, different questions people asked him. Small, somebody recorded them. So somebody asked Rebbe Yoshev, you find people, they go around the Beis Medrash, and everybody says Birchas Shachar, they say, did you say Birchas Shachar? And they answer Amen in all the brachas. What you're talking about? I'm telling you, this is the Rebbe Yoshev. This person asked Rebbe Yoshev, it's the right thing to do. He says, there's a Hasidic minig. That's what he said. The Hasidim, they do it. That's what they do. He says, we don't do that. If you hear the bracha, of course, but to go from one person to person that you say the bracha shach to be answer Amen. The Gemara says, the Gemara says in Chelik that if you have a child who answers one Amen in his life after he's born, he has a share in the world to come. It was worthwhile that his whole value of his existence just to answer Amen. Okay, so Amen has tremendous value. No, Amen. No, he's not being covered. Over the case he's talking about is just answering Amen. Versus at his own bracha. No, German. Yeki.
The Rebbe is saying it was a concept taught by saying Amen is a concept behind that.
No, definitely.
So it must have been in the context of maybe they were more kind of.
No, it says the person has a chiyuv here. You have to answer 90 amonim or amenim a day. 100 brachas, 90 times Amen a day. So how many people? So if you're in shul, you attend 3 times a day. Minyan, you get in 90 omens. But if not, you have to shop around. You have to go from person to person to answer omein. But he may miss Kriyash Bismano because he's busy with the omens. Okay. Also, there's a Hasidic minhag. Also, people when they say Otei Yisur B'Sefra, they touch the tefillin, right? Otei, where they touch that tefillin sharosh. Otei Yisur B'Sefra. Yeah. It's a Hasidic thing. I mean, it's a good thing. There's nothing wrong with it, because it's an atorah. It's like, because the Gemara says it's called a keser. It's called pe'er. Tefillin are called pe'er. That's the reason why an onein, even the day of the burial, he doesn't wear tefillin, because it's called a pe'er. And since he's disheveled, it's not appropriate for him to wear the pe'er. So it's otei yisor b'sefra. It's something which we're glorified by wearing the tefillin. So they touch it to indicate, acknowledge that it's something which we're glorified through that. That's the basis.
I want to ask a question about negative kavanah. So we...
This is his area, okay. Mitzvah shichas kavanah.
No.
No, that's negative kavanah.
Yeah, look. There are those brachot that we have to say for ourselves, but the shliach tzibur, he says them too. And sometimes he says them before we say them. And so if we want to say it afterwards, we should have this negative kavanah.
You don't even need negative kavanah. You need positive. You need positive kavanah. Negative kavanah, what's brought, Tosas brings it, we discussed it in Brochus, or the Mishna Berura says it. That's if you say something, like you say Vayishlach Friday night. So he says, in the name of Chassam Sofer, you should have in mind that you don't want to be Yotze Kiddush. So there, because you're actually saying it, you should have in mind not to. So you should be Yotze on the cup. To be for Shemei Koneh, the Gemara says in Brochus, in Rosh Hashanah, you have to have in mind that you want to be Yotze. You don't have to have anything negative. Then you have to have a positive intent, I want to be covered. But if you don't have that positive intent, you're not covered. Right.
So you don't have to have a negative.
You don't have to have anything negative.
You're saying it yourself. As in the Bible.
Well, you're correct. When you say it yourself, you have to have negative that you don't want to be Yotze.
How about the Havdalah in shul?
Yeah.
You want to be covered by that?
Not if you're going to go home and be motzi your wife. No, because there's a question where the woman says Havdalah. Where the woman's able to say Havdalah herself. If there's no one to say, she says it. We rely on those opinions. But it's preferable that a man should cover in Havdalah. So if the husband already is Yotze in shul, so you can't be cover her because she has no obligation. Is it possible she has no obligation? But if you haven't been Yotze yourself, so she's Yotze with your obligation. No, Kiddush something else. Kiddush something else. There's a difference in Kiddush and Havdalah. Kiddush, there's no question. She's obligated. You say, Baruch HaMavdil. Baruch HaMavdil. Baruch, you said Hatochel Manto. You don't have to say. Right? You've already said Havdalah and Shemon Esrei. She makes Havdalah. Of course she makes. What's being that she has a husband. It's better the husband, because there are opinions that she does not say Havdalah. If that's the mindset, finish. Yeah, automatic. Yeah, definitely. No, the question is, it's mitzvah shebegufa. It's mitzvah shebegufa. You can't be covered someone else. I'll give you an example. Kriyas Bikurim. Kriyas Bikurim is a mitzvah shebegufa. The one who brings the new fruits has to say the Bikurim themselves. Nobody else could say it on your behalf. Okay, so good. It's words. I mean, there are multiple cases. The Yavama, the declaration by Chalitza. Right? Me'en Yavomi. Me'en Yabmi. She has to say that. Nobody else could say that for her. Okay, so the words, there's no action over there. It's a mitzvah shebegufa. Nobody else could say, well, you just listen, I'll cover you. It has to be, she herself has to say those words. The one who brings the Bikurim has to say those words. Otherwise, it's not called Kriyas Bikurim. Okay, whatever, it doesn't make a difference.
So, Rabbi, let's take Vayishlach now, where we were saying it Friday night. If I make a blanket, let's say, commitment to a statement to myself, every Friday night,
That's what everyone just asked.
I don't want to be covered.
Sufficient. That covers.
And the only time I ever want to be covered is if I change my mind about that. But as long as I don't say anything. I
Okay,
don't have to think about
let's
it.
discuss this, okay? Let's discuss it, okay? Every year we do HaTorah Shnei Erev Rosh Hashanah. After we annul whatever we did, we present before the panel, it's called Mesiras Modah, a disclaimer, that if we should make any vows, oaths, whatever in the future, they have no value. But yet every year we do HaTorah Shnei Erev. So if we already had made the disclaimer the previous year, why do we do HaTorah Shnei Erev every year? That's the question. So the Ran in the Durham explains this. He says, if a person, when he made the net during the year, he didn't think about the disclaimer. So, so if that's the case, he never negated the disclaimer. Well, let's say when he made the netter, he was aware he had made the disclaimer. So being aware is a negation. The disclaimer is canceled. If the disclaimer is canceled, then the netter is a netter, or the oath, the shua is a shua. That's why every year we do HaTorah Shnei over and over again. So it'll be the same thing here. If continuously, if you're aware that you made you were that, and ever you should have in mind that despite that you're saying it, then you're canceling that original intent. But if there was never a time that you ever undid that intent, you negated that intent, that you don't want to be yotzei, then you don't have to think about it ever again.
So it works.
It works, sure it works. We have every Shabbos, there's the Mogen Avram and there's the Gro, regarding this man Kriya Shema. So it's decided that it's best to say Kriya Shema with Birchas Kriya Shema. So let's say the Mogen Avram is earlier, but when you get to Shul, they're only going to make this man of the Gro. So you say Kriya Shema earlier to cover yourself according to the Mogen Avram. But so you have in mind, are you doing it on it tonight? If in fact the halacha is like the Vilna Gaon, then I want to be yotzei with the later, not with the previous, right? So then I'm being yotzei with Kriya Shema D'Oraiso with Birchas Kriya Shema. If not, then I'm not yotzei later. If I'm not yotzei later, then I want to be yotzei now. So again, it's a conditional negation. It's either yes or no, but it's the same idea. It's a negative kavanah that you don't want to be yotzei with the earlier if you could be yotzei with the later. Yeah, definitely, you have to think it always. A person always wants to be covered according to Magen Avram. That's the what we call stam das. That's the neutral intent that a person has. Okay. The biyomenu hakol b'kiyim. Why should the shlichus not say until time again? Because we're all proficient. V'chol echon mevorach la'atzmam v'im rotze lotzi birchus hashlich tzibur. Al kein b'mok shamini shlich tzibur omek kol abrochos b'tzibur. כמו במקומסנו שהמינה came ביום נורואים, שמבורך בציבר גם על טיל שידועים, ואשר יוצא ברכס התורה, okay, this is not by us. He says, like Yom Noroim, the Tzibur says, even Asher Yotzar and Birchas HaTorah. That we do, what's his name? Shavuos night. Shavuos, after staying up all night. Yizor mitchilu shlo yivorach osam beveiso. No. Yeah, but he's saying, there's a minute the Shlich Tzibur on Rosh Hashanah says all the brachos. He says then the Shlich has to be careful not to say it at home. Because when he comes, he's not covering anybody. There's a minute we say the Shlich Tzibur says everything. From the beginning till the end. But he's not covering anyone. But if you already said Asher Yotzer at home, or he said Al Til Sidai at home, and Birchas Torah, he can't say it again. But the Shlich Tzibur says everything out loud from the very beginning. So the Shmur says, therefore, he has to be careful at home. He should say nothing at home. So what happens if he did? That's what he says. Because that's definitely, this is not a mitzvah shebegufo. Right? That's what we do every Shavuos morning, right? There's a question. Certain brachos, he covers you. Then he has to articulate every word that the people are able to hear it. Very often, a person says it so quickly, people don't even hear the words. The beginning of the bracha he says, and the end, but the middle of the bracha people don't hear. The he has to hear every word of the bracha, otherwise you're not yotzi. It's a b'di'evet. We'll see when we come to Ilchas Tefillah. What happens if you say the essence of the bracha in the beginning and you say the closing part of the bracha? Shmona, yotze. But it's not lechatchila. It's not a person, let's say a person When he has to do his bodily functions. And you really have to rush it. And if you say the full length, it's going to be difficult. So you say the essence of the bracha, you're going to be skipping words. But it's because you're in the b'diavad situation. But look, if a person's going to be motzi you, definitely you should every word. People you see people, that's amaratzis. Person shlich tzibur comes to modim. You ever see the way they say modim? Some of them, if they're really amaratz, they say modim achloch, and then they conclude with the end of the modim. They skip the whole middle. They don't even say the end. But as a shlich tzibur, you have to say the whole modim out loud, that people should hear, even though he's not motzi. But as a shlich tzibur, every word of the modim has to be said out loud. Very often people don't do this. Okay? B'chai gavno, yur aleph. V'afilu b'chai gavno yishnogim l'sadrim im shab people ve'im vorchem v'veisom. Hainu mashinogim rov amon hom l'spal slichus kodem ar haboker. B'mei slichus. Most people, one time, they would say shlichus before dawn. Shemaskirim become a psukim v'achkat l'vorchem til shidayim birchas haTorah. After shlichus, that's when they say til shidayim birchas haTorah. Ulinyi birchas haTorah yesh liyashiv k'tzas. Sahri say psukim. Those psukim ain't omer muslim el derech tefillah, because you're not permitted to learn before you say birchas Torah. You can say tilim. Tilim is tefillah. So the psukim you're saying is in the context of supplication. So even though the psukim from Novi very often, right? Yud Gimel Midas Harachmim. It's psukim from the Torah. You're permitted to say it before you say birchas Torah, because in what context are we saying it? We're asking rachmin. So it's the context of tefillah. V'liyischayv b'hem birchas haTorah fidas eiz poskim shenizbar sim memvov sif tes ago eincha Mishna Berura ach lintil sidayim shemafsikin b'hafsoka kazo sorch il v'yashev. You wash earlier and you can say the bracha 3 hours later. It's too much of a hefsek, right? V'skim achron shelasus ken el yesh levorch v'eiso miyad b'kumo. You say until time when you wake up. You say until sidayim. Shuvein levorch del sidayim beis hakneset. K'mon shesbar sim zayin sefal or sheism kumo lo yivorch del sidayim. El la'achik gemar aslichos yivdok atzman l'nkovo yatul mayim yishashev until sidayim kashe yishotzar. Okay, to be continued.
When you wash before you say until sidayim, not here, let's say, so wash for davening. Do you wash as if it's a shumo washing, so you do 3 like a chant, or is it like al sidayim like you do hamotzi?
Depends. I usually wash 3 times because since we start it's dark, and I haven't washed since I'm at home, so I wash 3 times again because according to the position that the end of the night causes ruach tumah. Understand what I'm saying? There's a question: what causes the ruach tumah?
Right.
Is it the sleep or is the end of the night? So we were at the end of the night, so therefore I wash 3 times just to cover that.